Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live session with me. Hope you guys are having a wonderful trading day and you've had a wonderful trading week. It's good to see you all again, and it's good to have you on board again. Today it's early, it's the Euro session, so I don't expect there to be as many viewers as usual, but let's hope you're all here and let's hope we can all have a little bit of fun. Looks like our Euro US dollar trade is not going as good as we expected for the time being. But I did mention to you guys this morning that it might be a good idea to take it at 11:55. Unfortunately, I've got in a little bit early and it's going against me at the moment, but that's okay. That's not so bad. How's it, Alice? Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Daniel, you said you had a bit of an issue there with the gold yesterday. Let us know what happened, man. What happened there? Okay, so FTSE, that didn't work, but it's hit a new resistance. So you probably could get a nice short out of this soon. So that's actually looking like a trade later on. So I wouldn't rule it out altogether. The trade we took on the trend didn't work, but the trade for the actual resistance might actually work. And the same thing sort of has happened to us here with the Euro US dollar. Also, it's broken through the trend a bit here. Hi, Chris. Hi, Carl. See, we got all the regulars back here. Yeah, you got a lesson there, Daniel. Yeah, we always do. I tell you what, trading's a game, man. That's why I tell you guys, 50-50. As long as we know that, we're okay. How's it, Peter? Welcome. Yeah. Okay. Got agreed there. Yeah, no, that happens to all of us. Don't worry, and we all get in too early and all do these. You know, after all these years of trading, I still make all the silly mistakes. You can't believe it, eh? You know, you'll still get in too early or do something crazy or whatever. You're short on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Have I actually got it in here? Aussie dollar, US dollar. I'll tell you what, let me add it into this little thing here. I'm just making it a bit easier for myself. The reason I don't actually trade so much on the Aussie dollar myself is because how can I put this? I don't live in the area, so it makes it kind of difficult for me to trade those particular types of products at the end of the day. Let me just go here, see if it will allow me to do it here. AUD, USD. Yeah, there we go. Allow me to do it there. See how we look. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay. Ha! You took your message away, Alice. Yeah, okay. No worries. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, no, it actually looks a bit long at the moment, yeah. Okay. Euro AUD, yeah. Okay, long on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. So the long trade is looking good here. If you look at this, it's got a bit of structure and it's going up. So that's actually looking good. Yeah, there is a bit of resistance over here where it is at the moment. A little bit of resistance hitting there, so keep an eye on it. If it breaks through that, should go to the next level. Quite nice. Nice little trade there. Nice little trade there. Looks quite decent, I must say. This Euro one's not playing out the way I like it. But what we've got to look at when we're trading, especially with something like this, is what I call the macro picture. When I refer to the macro picture, I'm referring to the wider perspective of the whole picture. And when you're trading on the higher time frames like the 4 hour instead of the 5 minutes, then you've got more space to maneuver. So in other words, I can now put my stop loss up here at 1170. Where did I put my stop loss on this? 1.1170. Okay. You guys know this is the funded trader account that we're playing around with, and that's the funded trader guys, and that's what we're all about. We're just having some fun with this, obviously. Now, the bigger picture for this is, okay, it's going to cost me quite a bit if it gets to 1170 because that's the stop loss. But the wider picture is we're looking for the profit down here at, where did I put the profit on that? 1.102. So, we're looking at a bigger perspective and a much wider perspective. Whereas if you're trading on the 5-minute charts or the quicker trading, which some guys are really good at, there's a lot of movement and a lot of loss to be taken. And somebody mentioned to me the other day that you were trading during the news and your stop loss gets taken out. And that's pretty obvious because everything is condensed. And if a news item comes out, you can get a candle like these where it's like up and down, and it moves quite vigorously. You get a huge amount of volatility in the market. And that volatility, if you're on the 5-minute, will definitely take you out. Your stop loss will get taken out. So you can't sit and wait for trades. I mean, you really got to scalp the market if you're trading on the 5 minutes. So, and scalping can be quite a difficult thing to do, I've got to say. The euro, Aussie dollar, yeah. You see, if you're awake during the Asian markets, that's great. For me, generally, when the Aussie dollar's moving around and when the news is coming out for the Aussie dollar and that sort of thing, I'm generally asleep on my side of the world. So it makes it difficult for me to trade that. But yeah, I'll trade it if I see a picture. And that's the advantage of trading on the higher time frames. Obviously, you can take trades that are out of your time zone because you can sleep on them and it shouldn't really matter. But I don't like leaving them over the weekends because things can go wrong on the weekends quite badly. That took me out once too. Yeah, it might. Yeah, no, look, if what I try to do is I try to stay within my time zone as much as possible. So I know that I can trade the US markets. I know that I can trade the European markets, and it still runs within my level of time because, as you guys know, we all use our cell phones or mobile phones for checking back and seeing what's happening with the trades during the evening or whatever the case when we're on those time zones. But for example, the trouble with the Asian markets, obviously, for me, is for me it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and that sort of thing. So I'm definitely asleep at that time. I hope you can't hear the noise in the background. One of my neighbors is, I don't know, he's doing woodwork or something. I tell you what, he's got a machine running there to die for. But yeah, that's in the background and that's carrying on by itself. So yeah, like I said, the FTSE trade, that didn't work out. We had the FTSE trade this week and it did bump up here. And that's why I say the macro picture is actually better because with the FTSE trade, if we'd done the same with the euro and left the stop loss up here and made a take profit down here, we probably still would have been in the trade. But unfortunately, I was only looking at this short-term trend. And we do tend to do that. We tend to take our trades in very narrow bands, whereas we should be taking them in wider bands and not worrying too much about them when they're trading by themselves. The DAX doesn't look too positive. If I look at the trade, it kind of looks like it's hitting resistance here and it kind of wants to go down. So, and I'm a bit worried about the S&P as well. This is the US 500, S&P 500, whatever you want to call it. But if you look at this, it's really kind of hitting a solid resistance up here. And it either breaks through and does what gold did, or it sits and it comes down again and it piles down. So it really depends what's going to happen in the world at the end of the day. Thing with SPX is it's very, very much, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, pretty much similar scenarios. But your Dow Jones is more your banks and that sort of stuff. Your NASDAQ is more your techs like Nvidia and that sort of stuff. So, depending on which way that's going and which way the world is turning, it can make a difference. But they'll kind of follow each other pretty closely. VIX, yeah, there we go. Love the VIX. You all know I love the VIX. The Dixie is just the US dollar, eh? So, yeah. Okay, France. What's France doing at the moment? Yeah, it's climbing. She looks like she wants to go up, but will it? Let's see. Let's see what happens. But yeah, look, France at the moment is in a bit of a bearish trend. And like I said, look at the macro trend, look at the bigger trend. If I look at France, it does look like it wants to continue on to the downside. So the thing with that is, if you look at the American markets, most of the markets tend to follow the American markets very much. And you can kind of look at things from a bigger perspective and say, well, the France looks like it wants to go down, and the DAX looks like it wants to go down, but the S&P looks like it wants to go up. So what's going to happen? It kind of leaves you in a bit of a quandary there. Francois asked for fair value gaps, and I've made you a video on fair value gaps for tomorrow. So I hope you guys are all gonna watch it. How's it, Rama? Good to have you back. So you know what a fair value gap is, obviously, and I've made it as simple as possible for you guys because the guys get all complicated with these fair value gaps and when a candle moves here and a candle moves there and whatnot. And I don't want you to overcomplicate your trading, and I don't want you to get too involved in too many technical aspects, because what they actually do to you, what I found anyway, is they stop you from trading. They block you from trading because you keep on going back to that indicator or that particular system, and it contradicts what you're thinking, and then it takes you off your game, completely takes you off your game. But the easy way to look at a fair value gap is where the high of that particular candle doesn't cross over the low of the third particular candle. It's generally with 3 candles, and you have a gap in between. Now what that gap is effectively from the lower time frames. You're getting pricing from the lower time frames where guys have actually moved up quickly here and left some orders in place, and the theory behind it is that the price will come back, take those orders, and move on along from the fair value gap. Fair value gap, let me show you what a fair value gap is here. You see there, that's a gap. Okay, it's a small gap, but it's a gap. There's a bigger one down here. Now you can do this with 4 candles as well. If there's an inside candle, yeah, an inside candle. I don't see one here. I can show you what an inside candle is, but it's when the second candle doesn't quite, can't see it here. When there's another little candle next to the big candle here, and it doesn't fill the candle, and then there's another candle, you can use that, but don't get too complicated about it. Rather keep it at just the 3 candles and look for those gaps there. Those gaps, they're not that reliable, but it does tell you what happened on the lower time frames. And you look, don't try using it as a support or resistance. You can basically, it hits it once, it's gone. Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm continuing on with the live, even though there's not a lot of us here. I see there's a lot of like traders out there that tell you can make $1 million in a day doing live shows that get thousands of people watching them and whatnot. And maybe it's because I tell you the truth that I don't get so many viewers, or maybe I'm just not that great, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so when the ends of the first and yeah, that's basically it, Alice. That's the easy way to look at it. Is, for example, when the first candle and the second candle or third candle, sorry, leaves a gap on the second candle in between, that'll be a fair value gap on the way up or on the way down. And that gap is on the lower time frames where there's been some movement and some orders left behind. So you can basically come back. If it comes back into that area, there's a good possibility that it might turn around and carry on the same direction, the same trajectory. Yeah, no, don't worry, Chris. I'll give it time. I understand. I know I'm new to this YouTube thing. And, being a trader, you kind of expect things to happen, and they don't happen immediately. We know that. Patience. Yeah, totally patience. Absolute patience. And, yeah, that's true. So anyway, yeah, that's your fair. So there's a whole video on the fair value gap that I've scheduled for tomorrow, but you guys will see it today. The members will get it today, probably in my time zone this afternoon. So you guys are going to get the video today still. So that's fantastic. Yeah, 100 YouTube ideas before you hit the good times. Yeah, it does take time. It sure does take time. And takes some getting. Look, as I said last time, guys, in the first place, I put the YouTube channel together because I got a little bit annoyed with the guys telling us that we're going to make $1 million in a day. And I thought, geez, these guys are lying through their teeth, man. And I thought I'll put 1 or 2 videos out just to tell everybody. And I ended up with a channel that's running and doing crazy things. I never thought I'd see the day I'm sitting live talking to a community, and we've built a nice community. Let's be honest. I mean, there's over 5,100 subscribers already. And yeah, we're building a nice community together. And I think, you know, we can do this the right way. Yeah, that's true, Daniel. That's the problem. Is people need the truth. And like I say, I never expected it to get to this level, but it has. And so we continue with it and we keep going with it. And, you know, it's like everything I do in life, I don't give up on it very easily. So, yeah, that's why I'm still trading after 30 years. Most people don't trade for that long. A lot of people give up quickly, but yeah, it's because I enjoy doing it. And I enjoy making these videos as well. And I enjoy... This is something I found in my life all through my trading career as well. So many guys would sit with me and I'd look in their face and I'd see that glazed look in their eyes where they're actually getting bored with me talking because I'm teaching them about trading and maybe they're not interested at all or something to that effect. And I realized that I like conveying the message. So that's why we're here at the end of the day. How's it? Hey, CJ. Oh, fantastic. First time on the live chat. Welcome. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I'm not doing the 5-minute thing like all these other guys. I noticed people love watching the 5-minute charts because they move. They move up and down. I mean, I can put the 5-minute charts on and they move up and down. And the way it's traded is completely different to the way we're actually trading because the way you trade the 5-minute charts is solely with the candles. And if the market opens and the next candle moves above the last candle and closes there, then you can trade long, or you know, there's all these different terminologies that the guys are using trading on the candles, and it does work. It does work if you know what you're doing, but you do have to know what you're doing because you can take some massive losses, eh? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Chase it totally. You see, that's the thing, Rama, is, yeah, we got stopped out on the FTSE yesterday. And I remember I chose the FTSE and it didn't go well. It went against us. But like the Euro's going against me this morning. But macro picture, just remember macro picture. So just bear one thing in mind, Rama, and that is we are hitting this major daily resistance. Remember, this is the daily resistance, not the 4-hour resistance. This is a mega resistance, okay? And it's hit it quite a number of times and turned around and gone down. Next thing to think about is how, and fundamentally in the back of my mind, I know that London market's not the best at the moment. It's not going through the roof. So keep that in mind. I don't think we're going to see a massive jump through here like gold. But if it does go through here, caution is advised for those who are short. But just be cautious on your long at this point. Move your stop loss up and just keep an eye on it because it might turn around in this resistance area and start going short, eh? Because macro picture, big picture, the big picture here is it's hitting resistance and it might come back. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Okay. Oh, sorry, Chris. Now we know you as Chris. We'll remember that. That's for sure. Cool, man. Cool. You know, the reason I said I do know a couple of CJs, so sorry. Chris, yeah. Fantastic to have you on board. Don't mind share for free if you want it. What caused you to decide to trade real money, or was it just a career thing when you something to dig into one's pockets? What actually got me into real money trading back in the day is when I started, I'll give you the date, but I know it was about 30 years ago and it was before computer trading. There was a lot of guys going around promoting trading. They were going around promoting trading, a bit like insurance salesmen, investing in the stock market and that sort of thing. And I found it quite interesting. I found the whole thing quite interesting. And in those days, I bought myself a course, which in those days came in a file, came in a book form in a file. I got a book and I got a file. And I did this whole course where I literally had to phone a real broker every day and place my trades, which were on a demo, by the way. And I just got hooked and I got involved in it. And I just got into real trading back then. And it stayed with me ever since. And then when it got better and better and it got onto computer programs and all these nice things, it's like getting sweets. It just gets better and better and better over the years, and you just get more and more and more hooked on it. And like I said, I think I said it last time, is it's like riding a motorbike. It doesn't get out of your blood. It stays there. I've tried leaving trading behind a few times while I was doing other things, and I couldn't. I always ended up right back where I was into trading. So it doesn't leave you. It's a drug. It really is. It wasn't really a career thing. I actually started trading while I was still working, while I still had businesses, and I was doing it on the side back then. And after a few years, I was making more money from the trading. So it kind of became a career change. It kind of became a like, okay, leave all that behind and just concentrate on the trading more than anything else. That's how it worked out for me. I didn't actually jump out of a job and go trading. I actually did do the whole course. I did the whole demo thing, even without computers, and I did the whole learn how to do it thing. And I was doing it in the evenings. I would come home and bring the newspaper home with me. That was really important. And I'd open up the newspaper, and I had like 2 pages of just share prices, because those days it was just shares. And we didn't have gear trading like now. We traded real one-to-one. And I'd choose my shares and I'd buy them in the morning, phone up the broker and buy them in the morning, go to work during the day, come home in the evening with a newspaper, rinse, repeat the procedure. How the hell we made money, I don't know. The spreads were this wide, guys. The spreads. I mean, today you get spreads like 2 points, In those days, 5, 6, 7 point spreads to purchase and sell a product. I don't know how we made money. I really don't. But we did. We survived in the beginning, but we did. Yeah. Yeah, it's the trade. Yeah, that's the trading psychology. Yes, Alice, absolutely. It's all about. Oh yes, I remember CompuShare. I even had shares on CompuShare lying there. How long ago was it? A few years back. I can't remember. When did they shut down? I can't remember. They were taken over by someone else, and they informed me that I had all these shares lying there, and I had to sell them off or move them on, and I transferred them into the JSE thing and Johannesburg Stock Exchange. They took over all the stuff and whatnot. So it actually went into the Johannesburg Stock Exchange thing there, and they had my shares. They got my shares now. So yeah, I remember CompuShare. Yeah, totally. Okay, Martinez, you can use. You know, I use Purple Capital a lot. GT247. They're a fantastic company. They also have a thing called Easy Equities for investing as well. They're connected to the Capitec Bank and a number of others as well, if you're new to it. And the costs for trading those are immensely cheap in comparison to, say, Standard Bank, FNB, and those guys. So that's Purple Capital GT247. Very good guys. I like them a lot. So I've been trading with them for, not my whole life, but probably, I'm going to lie to you, but 15 to 20 years. I couldn't give you an exact figure, but I've been trading with them on and off for 15 to 20 years, and they're very good, very good. I don't want to endorse anyone or, say this, that, or the other, but they've always been good to me. They've always been excellent. Then I used to trade with IG at one time as well, but these days they have a problem with the South African money, and between the UK and South Africa, there's some issue, and they didn't want to take large trades or large sums of money. So there was a bit of a problem with that. So I can do my overseas account with GT as well, and that's actually quite cool. That actually works quite well. The funded account, yeah, we haven't really been looking after it that well, Rama. It's pretty bad. As you can see, we're making a loss. Here's the funded account. It's right here. Okay, so we're another 94 bucks down today. You know what the problem with this funded account is? Firstly, you're not watching it every day. And secondly, you can only really put 1 or 2 trades on at a time so that you don't have a massive drawdown. And that's what I've noticed about these things is now, for example, you're only allowed to lose $1,000 in a day. So if I put 3 or 4 trades on here and they all lose, they might close the account. So I'm being very cautious about how we trade it and keeping it open. And I'm not really concerned whether we win it or lose it, but I'd rather keep it open. Let's put it that way. And so we can have some fun with it and what have you. But what I thought I'm going to do to perk things up a little bit is I'm going to take another account, maybe with GT. And I've actually got my account there, but I don't want the account number out there. So what I might do is take another one. And then I'm not too worried about what happens to it, and then move some of the money over there, and then we'll play with that because it might be more exciting as well to trade with the real money rather than this funded stuff. But we did need to do this funded stuff because we need to sort of see how it works. And the one thing I've learned is the drawdown or the threat of closing your account down is actually quite a bugbear. It is actually quite a problem for trading these accounts. So I'm trying to now, yesterday I woke up and I thought, now I've got to try trading on this account. And that's why I took this trade. And I'm going to try and add a couple of more trades and try and work it a bit better and try and make it happen, try and make it work a little bit better because I've been neglecting it a bit and we actually should be doing a little bit more with it. So we'll work on it. We'll work on it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. They're not going to close it down for nothing, I don't think. Yeah, you see, that's it, Daniel. I think the rules are a bit of a problem. And a funded account is slow. So, yeah. it is I have no, that's why I took it, to see how it's affecting you guys, because a lot of you guys were funded. And a lot of guys said to me, but the stop loss, the stop loss, the stop loss, and the approach and all the rest of it. And I thought, okay, you know, let's go and see what's going on. And now I've figured out what's actually going on is this whole business of, for example, on a real account, I can sit and I can open 10 trades and walk away. And I know I've got the money to cover the 10 trades. I'm not concerned about it. And if it draws down, so be it. Like I said earlier, the macro picture, for example, the euro US dollar is a good example of that. It's the macro picture. So if it goes into the drawdown here and it goes up to here and then it comes down and takes my profit, so be it. You know, I'm not worried about it. And if there's another 10 trades like that, it's okay. As long as 5 of them win and only 5 of them lose, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But on a funded trader account, you can't do that. On a funded trader account, I can't just open 5, 6, 7 trades and leave them, because if they all go down at the same time, you wake up when your account's closed. So these guys are quite fussy about that, and then they start calculating your risk factors and all these strange, wonderful, fandangled things in the background. So, and some of them are more strict. These guys are good. This funded trader markets, I've got to say, they allow me to trade my own way. They allow you to keep the trades overnight. They allow you to do what you want. And that's actually marvelous. That's actually fantastic, to be quite honest with you, because most of them don't. Most of them actually look at, you know, really fine things like how's your consistency, and you know, you can't keep the trade overnight, and you can't trade during news events. I don't think you can trade during news events here either. I'm not sure. Also, for example, you've got to trade their way. You've got to trade with that fancy fandangled ICT system or whatever the case on some of them, whereas these guys don't apply that. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I'll open a few more trades here, and we'll start looking after the account a little bit better. And then afterwards, we'll, like I say, then we'll move on to the MT5. How many of you, I don't know how many of you guys actually trade on MetaTrader. I use MetaTrader as my main trading platform, not TradingView. TradingView is, this is TradingView. This is very nice for showing you guys on and teaching you guys and whatnot. But Normally I use the MetaTrader 5. I'm not bringing it up here because it's got my account numbers on it and that. The downside to MetaTrader 5 is I can't cover my account number on a live show for sure. And there's always the possibility of a mistake. And also, there's a lot of little things that you can't do with it that you can do on this trading view to show people trading and that sort of thing. It's a bit limited in certain aspects. For example, if you take a trade on MetaTrader 5 and you place an order and you want to see what size your trade's going to be when you're taking the trade, it doesn't really allow you to do that. You've really got to know what size you're trading and that sort of thing. So it does leave you a little bit of a disadvantage. But my picture looks the same as this. I mean, that's basically how I trade. I have a chart and I have my stuff here, and that's how it looks. Daniel, pass your 25K challenge, because one thing it'll do, it's going to make you feel better and it's going to make you feel good. You know, trading is not only about making money, it's also about the success and making you feel better about yourself and knowing that you can do it. So totally use it. And if you do pass it, enjoy it and try and get the funded account and try and, you know, get some money out of it. What I would advise everyone is don't leave money in the accounts. Hey, I used XNES. I see XNES is coming up on all the adverts. Looks quite popular. Just like I say, don't make $100,000 and just leave it lying in the account, because I've heard a lot of horror stories on these funded accounts. So just keep your eyes open, be awake, be aware of what's going on, and make sure you can get your dosh out. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Carl, and that's been my opinion for 30 years. The only reason I took this funded trader account was because I had many a person contact me about it and say that they had a funded account and there was a lot of restrictions and things that they couldn't do. And to be quite honest with you, I'd had a lot of information about funded accounts, but having never actually traded one, how can I really comment on it? Because I'm commenting based on hearsay and what everybody else is telling me. So that's why I opened one up, just to see what's actually happening and what the reality is behind it. And I still haven't got to the point where we are. Maybe I should really get the challenge passed so that we can go and see if they actually send you the money or whatever the case, and see where we go with that. But yeah, Carl, you are perfectly right. As far as I'm concerned, the only real way to trade is with your own money if you can. But there are a lot of people out there who just don't have that real money to trade with, and there's the funded accounts offered a better opportunity for those people. But lately there's been a lot of controversy around them, and it is becoming a little bit of a tricky situation. Yeah, funded accounts teach you not to take too great a risk. Yeah, but that is true. That is true. But obviously, with someone like myself takes it, I can't take my trades as well. So I'm trying to teach you guys to manage your risk. Yes, okay, so that is true. But they are a bit tight on how much risk you can take, because I actually take a lot more risk on the real account, where I'll open 10 trades. And if you work out all 10 trades, there's a lot of risk over the 10 trades. But each individual trade has got the same amount of risk on it. So that risk is linear, it's consistent for each individual trade. But I'm not expecting as a trader to lose all 10 trades. Worst case, I lose 7 trades and win 3, but I'm not expecting to lose all 10. So I'm expecting there to be a profit in those 10 trades. So the drawdown, as long as I can cover that drawdown, I'm okay. And that's why I say trade on the higher time frames, because it gives you a macro picture. Because in my career, over the years of trading, I've noticed one big thing, and that is whenever you enter a trade, you know, the higher percentage of the trades that you enter will always go against you. And there is a reason behind that, and there is a well, we'll call it a scientific reason, but there is a good reason for it. And it's effectively because when you take the trade, you're expecting a turn in the market. You're expecting something to go for you, but it's still busy going the other way 9 times out of 10. And that's why these trades tend to sort of turn against you for a short while, but then your idea works out. It works out in your favor, let's say. So for example, this trade, there's a reason you took the trade. There's a reason you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, it should turn here. And you're expecting it to do so. But in the beginning, it doesn't. And you think, oh, maybe I got it wrong. But effectively, it might still do that. And it might still go the way you expected it to in the first place. Active trades for years and use the active trader charts, which are a cut down version of TradingView that you're using now. Yeah, that's fantastic. It's actually nice if you can use a product that works well. And you know, don't buy too much. You see, what a lot of guys do is they show you a fancy charting package, and you take them on because of the fancy charting package. But when you get to my mentality, I'm kind of like over that, and charts are just charts, and it doesn't bother me that much. Most of my trading is done from my head, from my mind. I need the charts, I need the prices, I need to see what's going on, but they don't need to be fancy. In fact, this funded trader challenge, funded trader markets, this match trader is, I don't want to insult anyone, but it's actually not that great. It's terrible. I should have taken the C trader one or whatever they got there. That's actually, I believe, much better charting. But yeah, but you know, it doesn't matter to me. It's not important. It's just a chart, and at the end of the day, as long as I can see the price, I can buy and sell. That's really all that matters to me. Indicators don't matter to me that much. What I am going to start doing for you guys now with the videos as well, so don't get me wrong on the videos, is I'm going to start showing you guys a few different systems that are out there. You know, for example, the moving average crossover, the MACD, the moving average convergence, divergence, the relative strength index, trading with volume, all those sorts of things. Not for you to trade with them, because I don't want you guys to start trading with that stuff. As you can see, I don't. But just so that you understand it, so that you know more about it. I've actually mentioned in the next video, where I show you the fair value gap, that there's a lot of information on this type of trading about candles and how you can use candles. But guys, I've said there, I'm not going to show you candles because that's a process all on its own. And what you can do is just download a candle chart off the internet, and it'll show you all the little different patterns of candles and pincer tops and all the rest of it. And just try and understand as much of that as you possibly can if you want to know more about identifying candles. Because what I use candles for is I see the color of the candle, I see the size of the candle, I look at these tails, how long they are. This is an undecided candle. Why is it an undecided candle, guys? Because there's a little body in the middle, long tail in the top, long tail in the bottom. What are the tails? Start to see the candles as real people. Okay, so what you've got here on this candle is a whole bunch of sellers that got out of the market, and a whole bunch of buyers that got out of the market, and left you with an average price in the middle. And then what happened with this big red bar? All the sellers came in and sold the price down. Those are real people. Those are real orders. Those are real sellers that are selling. And then look at that picture and say, well, there's a lot of sellers in the market. Just look at it like a real business. There's a lot of sellers in the market. So what's going on? Why are they selling? What's going on? There's something causing them to sell. That's what technical trading is about. It's so that you don't have to know the market, so that you don't have to know the news and the fundamentals. You can actually see it just by what the masses are actually doing for you, and you can follow them and say, well, that's what they're doing. They're selling, and they're looking for orders in that area. There's liquidity there. They've left a whole bunch of stop losses or a whole bunch of buy orders, whatever the case. That's what you're looking for with technical trading. So candles can give you an indication, but I always say a candle is only valid for the next candle, not for the whole day. But what is handy, for example, you get these little pincer tops. You see when you get the two candles together and the tops together, that gives you an indication that things are turning around. Like I say, the long candles, the tails, that sort of thing gives you information. But don't play too much into candles. But if you can see them in the corner of your eye and you can picture them, it helps a lot. There are a lot of scams out there, Daniel, and that's what always worries me. And that's why I don't actually put my main account up here on the screen, because I don't want anybody to get hold of that account number, man. Also, like a bank or anything, it's like putting your bank account on YouTube. Would you do that? Probably not. So that's how I feel about it as well. I don't really want to put my bank account up here on YouTube, guys, because I know there's someone out there just waiting for me, especially an old guy like me, just waiting for that moment. And then they'll send me a little SMS and they'll say, click on this link and yeah, go and get you need to transfer all your money out to your bank account because there's a scammer in there or something to that effect. Yeah, absolutely. And then you do that and off they go with your money. Yep. Too much of that going on, that's for sure. Far too much of that going on. So where are we here? Okay. So the markets on the 4-hour charts, as you guys know, don't move around much. So it's much more fun watching someone live that's got a 5-minute chart going, obviously. I can put them on the 5 minutes if you guys want, but we're not going to trade on the 5 minutes because that's not what we do. I have done it a few times when I'm bored, but yeah. Yeah, I know there is flooding in the Czech Republic. I know about that. My wife is Czech, so yeah, I know. Czech. I know all about Czech, that's for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of flooding out there at the moment. Things are going crazy. And maybe it's affecting Europe a little bit. Funny, though, that it isn't affecting it in a negative way. Because if I look at the FTSE here and I look at the DAX, it's holding on. That's Germany. That hasn't really crashed or anything. Let's just see what else. France is just sitting around here, not doing much. So what is going on in Europe is not really causing a hell of a difference in the charts, and they're not really doing much either. They're just sitting still. So that's probably the thing. FTMO. The big thing is I don't want to comment on actual companies. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay, I'm in a public domain here, and yeah, it's I don't want to say this one's bad and that one's good, and then the next thing I know, I've got them calling me and getting upset with me. But I've never traded with them. I've seen a lot of people talking about them. Just see what everyone else is saying, and maybe look for a bit of information on someone that's actually trying to get money out of them, or try to trade with them and try and get a bit of insight into their honesty and their background and what have you, because they are quite big and they are out there. But all of these guys are under scrutiny at the moment, all of them. So yeah, so I can't really comment on specific names of these companies and whatnot. I can comment on this one because they've allowed me to, and they want me to. So, this is Funded Trader Markets. I've kind of built a relationship with them now, so I'm allowed to comment on them and do a review on them, and I'm allowed to see if they go wrong or go right, and they've tried to put themselves out there. That's different. But I'm got no connection to FTMO. Yeah, totally, Daniel. Thanks. Yeah, that's the thing. It's pretty much your opinion. Yeah, totally. You decide. Go and have a look. Find people that literally trade with the guys and ask them, what do you think? Are you happy? Are you getting your money? Are they helping you? Are the rules strict? You know, that sort of thing. And just get a little bit more information. Like I say, I can't comment on here. Say it's not right for me to do that as well at the end of the day. So the Nikkei trade, it did okay, but I did get out of it before the weekend, so that didn't help much. No big bucks there. Don't like leaving the indexes in over the weekend. You know, it's a funny thing. The currencies I'll take a chance on for a weekend. I'll take a chance on a currency because it's currency. But the indexes I'm very careful with, because you do understand that even though you've got a stop loss, so let's say you're long on the FTSE and you've got a stop loss here at 83.20 and you're perfectly safe, and the weekend hits and you stay in the trade. And over the weekend, London starts firing missiles at Russia and the world ends and it goes down. But it doesn't just go down, it goes down, 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 down. When you open up on Monday morning, this thing opens up on 7,800 or something, or 7,500. So you lose that entire amount. Your stop loss doesn't count because the market's closed over the weekend. The market's closed, it can't stop you out. So effectively what happens to you on Monday morning is it opens at 7,500 because the world has ended, and it blows your account. You lose everything. So that's why I don't keep indexes over the weekend where I can help it. Commodities as well, they're also pretty tricky. Be careful. So yeah, currencies I do tend to take a chance on, but they're just as dangerous. It can happen to you there as well, because currencies will move with something like that. But currencies tend to stay more stable over a weekend, whereas an index will close at one price on a Friday and it'll open at another price on Monday morning. Just watch out for that. The other thing is companies. You have your investments and you buy your investments and you hold them forever, but they can do the same thing to you. If you're on gear trading, be very careful, because Friday afternoon it's one thing and Monday morning it's totally something else. Right, so let's have a look. Apple, Tesla, Netflix, Nvidia. Nvidia's a lacquer one. That's forever. That's a forever trade, Nvidia. Let's have a look at gold and see what happened here. So here's another one, guys, where there's a kind of a fair value gap down here at the new support. And remember I said if it breaks through here, it's going to go to the moon, and it pretty much has gone to the moon. It's head on up, but I'm kind of expecting it to find its way back down to these levels here at 25.40, where we can buy again and go up, because there is quite a big gap here. There's quite a big fair value gap, and it's also now like a magnet. This is going to be very much, it's got to come back and check this area out again. So I think we will get a bit of a correction. Depends how long this sits here and settles, because if it settles here for a long time, then we've got another flag pattern developing. And of course, we all know what happens with the flag pattern. That is what happens with the flag pattern. So watch out for that. On the way down here, you will find a lot of gaps, but they're small, they're tiny, and kind of irrelevant. You're looking for this big one down here, where there's a lot of confluence here as well. Because what you've got the trend, you've got the main, now what is resistance, and you've also got this gap. So there's quite a lot going on in this general area. So I will wait for this price to come back into this area and then buy again. And then I'd head off north. Follow me. So even if your fixed stops in before market close, the stop still won't count on the side. Yep. No, it won't. You can have a fixed stop. It won't do anything. That's the danger of it. So during the week, while the market's open, and in most cases with the indexes, for example, as you know, They don't really close. The markets are generally open all day, apart from maybe the hour in the middle or whatever the case. So Monday to Friday, you're good. Nothing's really going to go wrong. You can catch it. But between Friday afternoon, Monday morning, you're in trouble. That stop loss is not going to help you at all. It doesn't trigger because the market's closed. It can't trigger. So effectively, when it opens on a completely new price on Monday morning, it's bye-bye. Let's just have a look here. Right, so one of my deliveries has arrived, so that's fantastic. Somebody else can go and pick that up. That's fine. Ordered a soundbar for a TV. So that's coming. I see the car outside there on my cameras. So yeah, that guy's there. Would you start with a demo account? Yeah. Start with a demo account. Demo account is not the worst thing. I would start on a demo account if I didn't know what I was doing. Demo account is most certainly the answer. Go for it. It's just bear one thing in mind with the demo account. The thing about a demo account is when you trade on a demo account, it's much easier to trade. And this is the problem with psychology. So what you do with a demo account is you learn the system. You learn how to trade the system. And you figure out how the system works. And then when you go into live trading, that obviously all changes because you now trading with a different psychology. It's a funny thing, real money. Real money changes the whole outlook, your whole mindset at the end of the day. So when you put real money in a pot and it starts to lose, or you put it starts to make profit and you see the profit and you want to take it, there's a completely different mindset to when you're demo trading. So when you're demo trading, you put all the rules in place and you live with those rules and you say, those are the rules. Those are the best rules on earth. And when you go to live trading, you break all the rules because it's your real money. It's the fear. We've got this inbuilt thing in our heads called fear, and you cannot get around it. And when it comes to money and it comes to finances, it's most probably one of the worst things to deal with, one of the most difficult things to deal with. The fear of finance is horrifying, which is why what I will say to you is learn to trade the system with the demo account. And then when you're trading with real money, trade within your means. In other words, when you choose a stop loss amount, whether it be $100, $200, $50, $500, I don't know what your risk threshold is. But if you are not comfortable with a trade, if you are not comfortable going to sleep in the evening, if you are not comfortable, if you lose that money that you won't be able to feed your family, or that it's going to affect you so psychologically it's like being mugged, then it's too big. Make the risk factor an affordable risk factor when you take the risk. That way you feel more comfortable with the trading, you get used to it, and the losses don't affect you that badly. So just be careful when you go real. Also, look, if you want to use a funded account, look, use these guys. These guys are not bad. Funded Trader Markets. There's a link in the description if you want to use them. There's no problem with that. They're quite decent oaks, nothing wrong. But like I say, choose anyone you want. No problem with that. I have left a link for these oaks, and they're not expensive as well. They got some discounts and specials on. What have they got on at the moment? 50% off. There you go. So use that discount code down there, FTM50. It's valid till September the 18th, and you get 50% off. Grab the link in the description, and there you go. You get an account. Look, the $25,000 account you see, you get 50% off 99.50. So what's that? $50. And you get a max daily drawdown of 4%. 25k account's cool. That's the one I'm working with. 100k account's quite expensive. So just go with a 25k account, man. It's fine. Unless you can afford these biggies, that's up to you at the end of the day. But, you know, just bear in mind, these funded trader guys, I think they make quite a lot of money out of these accounts and whatnot. That's where a lot of the money is. If you can afford the 50k account, go for it. Because you're going to get a 50% discount, obviously. It says 50% off on the FTM 50. So the 50k account, yeah, what's that? $70 or so, $75, yeah, $80. Not bad. It's quite cool. That's a nice account. That's actually a nice account to work with. So you can trade quite decent on that. So just go with that. That'll work. No problem. And it's also, you know, that's all you're paying. You're just paying that amount. And it's almost like a stop loss. I mean, you pay that $78 and that's it. And if you lose it, then you lose it. It's a bit like your stop loss in real life. So if you were trading for real and you had a $200 stop loss on your product, then on every single trade, you might lose $200. So with this, you sort of pay that $70 and so be it. And write it off, sort of say, well, that's gone, you know, don't worry about it. And then if you win the challenge and you get funded and you make all the money and whatnot, then Bob's your uncle. At least you're in with a really good chance of winning and you've got a really good demonstration account. What I would recommend to you guys, if you do take this challenge, they've got a platform called C Trader, and I think it's a bit better than this Match Trader or whatever they've got here. This one doesn't seem that great, doesn't have a lot on it, so maybe rather go with a C Trader. It's got more like this trading view stuff and the blockies and all that kind of stuff, and it's got more available to it. So I think I would rather go with that. Go with a C Trader. It's probably better if you do go that route. If you do take that route. So random coding channel, go for it. That's you. Yeah, you know, the thing is, Coral, that's a good question. How long does it take you to see a consistent profit? No, you can't connect it with MetaTrader, by the way. I don't think they connect with MetaTrader. You can ask them. I don't know. I didn't want to confuse it with my stuff, so I just used what they've got, and it didn't really bother me. But I don't know if you can connect it with MetaTrader. Maybe with TradingView, but I don't know about MetaTrader. How long it takes to see a consistent profit? Was there any aha moment? Yep, there sure was an aha moment. And it was at that moment when, you know, you've been trading for a while and you keep getting into all these, you know, in the early years, you keep getting into all these systems. And man, when I was starting out, there were so many different things coming up, so many cream cakes being laid on the table, and this works and that works. It's a bit like today, only it's much worse today, where everybody's throwing their 10 cents on the table and telling you that you can make $1 million with this fantastic, marvelous system that they've got. The aha moment comes when you realize that it's not the system that makes you money. When you realize that there's a profit and loss system here. There's a macro picture. There's a bigger picture. When you realize that the system can only manage your risk, and you realize that all the system does for you is provide you with a picture and an educated chance of making a win or a loss. So it becomes, it probably took a couple of years for me to actually start showing any progress. It didn't happen overnight. I must be honest with you guys. It doesn't happen overnight because you get sucked in to all these different things. You get sucked into all these different programs. You get sucked into all these different systems, as I'm sure you guys did as well or do. And you know, with today, it's much worse with all the social media and what have you out there. And guys promoting to you that you're definitely going to win. I mean, I even went on one Forex course at one time thinking, nah, these guys are going to give me a magic pill. And there isn't one. There's no magic pill. The aha moment comes when you realize that it's got absolutely nothing to do with the system, and it's got everything to do with how you approach your trading and your mindset around it, and how you figure out your profit and loss. And it's all about managing your loss. So effectively, the aha moment comes when you realize that you have to concentrate more on how much the trade is costing you. You have to concentrate more on how much each trade will lose, will have to be the same, and to stop concentrating on how much you might win. And that's when the aha moment clicks in. It's a business. It's an actual business. It's you've got to have a business plan. What's my business plan, for example? What's the number one point on my business plan? So, for example, my business plan on this funded trader account, which is at the moment losing $146, right? But my business plan on this is not to lose more than $250 a trade. That's it. Okay. That's the basis of it all. So every single trade that loses mustn't lose more than that. And if it does win, then we take the win and we're happy. Okay. So that would be my business plan on this particular product. On my real one, I've got different stop loss rules, and my rules on the real account are I don't want to lose more than $1,000 per trade. But on some of those trades you make 5,000, some of those trades you make 3,000, and that is decent. Okay, and for me it's a good day. It's a fantastic day. So yeah, my business plan is also different there because I will open more trades with a view to having more on the table and make sure there's enough cover in the pot to cover any drawdowns or losses, whatever the case. But a real account works kind of different to a funded account when it comes to that. Yeah, you see, Kevin, that's the problem. Learning from zero. Ooh, man, I don't envy you at all. Don't envy you at all. Because it's a long process. And that's why I'm here, to tell you the honest truth. And that is, there's so many guys out there promoting to you that you can learn trading in a day. And you can't. You just can't. You cannot learn to trade in a couple of hours, a day, a week, 2 weeks. How long did it take you to learn your real profession, whatever that might be? It certainly didn't take you a day. I can almost guarantee you that without a shadow of a doubt that it didn't take you a day. It takes time to learn this stuff. But what I will try and do is I'll try and give you this system, which is as simple as I can possibly make it for you. And if you can learn a system that is simple like this from the start, you're probably better off than most of those guys out there that have gone through the whole process of all the complicated indicators and moving averages and all the complicated stochastics and RSIs and MACDs, and yeah, I can name them, I can name them. There's so many out there, so many different indicators that are available. Then every single one will promise you the world, and they'll promise you that this is how you're going to win, Gavin. This is how you're going to make money. This is how you're going to become profitable in the markets. And you're not, because that's just the system. What I will try and get over to you is it's a business, have a business plan, work with a strategy in your mind. Now, what I can say to you, if you're starting out, don't be overwhelmed, because I can take an 8-year-old child, put them next to me, and say to them, which way is it going to go? And they'll say to me, up, and I'll buy. And you know what? 50% of the time I'll win. So the system is really it helps you psychologically understand that you're calculating your risk. It helps you manage your risk, and it helps you give you a calculated move in the market. But at the end of the day, there's only two things the market's going to do. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. That's what it's going to do. And so don't get too caught up in all the jargon. Don't get caught up in the stars must align on the left and the cheese must become a moon and whatnot before you can take a trade. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple and trade between the trend lines, trade between the resistance and the support. Look for the green candles, the red candles, follow the direction. There's three ways that the market will trade. And that is very simply, you're going to follow a trend, or you're going to say the trend is ending, I'm going against the trend, or it's going to be in a range. In other words, it hits the bottom, it hits the top all the time, and it stays in that range. When it gets to the top of the range, I go short, gets to the bottom of the range, I go long. So three ways of trading. And effectively, guys, the market does two things. It goes up or it goes down. That's it. End of story. So many people will disagree with me on this. So many people will argue with me on this and say, but you've got to have the edge. Yeah, but you always forget, like I said to you earlier, everyone behind these candles is human beings. And the human beings in the market are made up of a whole bunch of buyers and a whole bunch of sellers. And all those buyers and all those sellers, guess what? They all believe they've got an edge. They all believe that they're one step ahead of you. And that's the market. That's how markets are made. The markets are made up of people that buy, and the markets are made up of people that sell. And they all believe they're right. So when I say to you the market's a 50-50 game, trust me, guys, it is. It truly is. I'll tell you what. Daniel says simple and anyone can do it. Kevin, listen to Daniel. Listen to Daniel. Okay, so yes, Kevin, I'm glad you're here, and I'll try and help you through it as best as I can. But like I said to you, it's a long road of getting your mind around the fear. If you can figure it out that it's about your mind, it's about your mindset, it's about your head, not about those little bars, then the aha moment will start to come. And for some of you, it'll come a lot quicker. Maybe because I'm here, maybe not. But it'll start to make more sense to you when you see the picture, when you start to think, wait a minute, this is a business. This is not little bars and charts and lines and squiggly lines and things. This is real. This is real people trading real money. I think that's where pro traders have the advantage. People that have studied to be actual stockbrokers, and they go and they stand on the floor. Because when they stand on that floor, which they don't do anymore, by the way, but when they did stand on the floor, there was all those other people around them, and they could see human beings, and they could actually go and talk to each other and discuss things and make deals. That doesn't happen in our world. In our world, we sit behind a computer and we see squiggly lines. So we don't see people, and we don't understand that there are real people behind those trades. And there are real people. You're buying something from someone else. You're not buying it from a computer. You're buying actual shares, actual stock from someone else. You're selling stock to someone else. And it's all about making sure that you don't lose too much on each individual trade. You'll win some, you'll lose some. And the ones that you win on, those are the ones you want to win big on. Yeah. So let's grow this community, guys. I'm trying to grow it as big as possible. Let people know that we're here. Tell people we're around, man, so that they can join us and we can make it bigger. And let's rock this market, because you know we've got to put a stop to the guys out there that are telling you that you can make so much money in the market and it's so easy, and then they try and, I don't know, sell you a course. I don't know what it's no. Guys, we're a community, we're growing it, we're building it. I'm trying to put some time into it, and I'm enjoying doing it. I'm enjoying putting the time into it. It's just something that I feel like doing. I like doing it, and it keeps me busy as well. So, and if somebody's gaining something out of it, then I know that I'm not wasting my time, that I'm doing it for a purpose and somebody's getting something out of it. Like I said to you now, even trading, it's not always about the money you make. Sometimes it's just about the success and feeling successful on a trade, feeling good about a trade. I don't know if you guys ever felt it yet, but when you're trading, you sometimes feel like someone's watching you. Someone in the background is watching your trade. Somebody knows what you're doing. And it's almost embarrassing to make a loss or to make a win or to take a trade or whatever the case, because you just think that someone out there is watching your trade when they're actually probably not. They're not interested in what you're doing. As you're just a number on the board that's clicking a buy and a sell. But it is very, very interesting, that feeling that when you're taking a trade, somebody might actually be watching you taking your little trade, whatever it might be. So S&P opening up later. What do you think it's going to do, guys? Do you think it's going to go up, or do you think it's going to go down? Where's the S&P 500 going today? I would love to know. So it's a 50-50 game. Love to take a trade on that, but it hasn't moved. I don't know if you guys have noticed. S&P literally hasn't moved. The DAX is doing nothing. Everything is kind of just standing still today, probably because we're on the 4-hour charts. But yeah, it's not doing much. It really isn't doing much. I'm pretty sure that the guys that are live on the 5-minute charts are complaining as well, that it's going nowhere. That's a good choice, S&P going up. And I'll tell you why I agree with you. It's because it's in a bullish phase, and it's showing that it's going up. Just be careful of that resistance, but if it breaks through that resistance, boy, is it going to go long. So, you got your wife watching as well, Carl. Gosh. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel, will definitely do a coffee sometime one day. No. So, let's see. Okay, so let's have a look here. Is the Nikkei recovering again? It looks like it's coming back up here, guys. Looks like it's coming back up to this trend. Maybe. No, but it's very close to the support, eh? Look at that. It's very close to the main support. Maybe we should leave it alone. Let's not get too excited about that. We'll leave that one alone. Okay, the main reason you asked the question, why do I mainly trade in the 4-hour chart? Okay, so the 4-hour chart gives me the macro picture. It gives me a bigger chance to trade. So for example, you can put your stop loss up here, and you can put your take profit down here, and you can go and do whatever you want to do. You can make videos like this, or you can go to the shops, or you can go to the beach, which I do quite often, and you can relax, and the market carries on without you, right? You've taken your trade. You've made your choice. So why do you want to sit and actually watch it go against you or go for you? You don't need to. In fact, you've got a mobile phone which you can effectively just check up on it from time to time and see if it's gone horribly wrong. But you've got an automated stop loss in place, so you don't really have to worry about it or concern yourself with it. 5-minute trading, I can do it. I've done it, but it's a totally different game. It's day trading, number one, and you have to sit and be at the charts every time you're trading. And you find people will say, oh, I'll just come at the Euro Open or the US Open and I'll take a couple of trades and I'll make a few $1,000 and then I'll relax for the day. Not true. When you trade the 5-minute charts, you will find yourself at the computer probably 16 hours a day, just watching the charts and taking trades, okay, all day long. And effectively, what you're doing when you're trading on a 5-minute chart is you're effectively trading each individual candle. So, for example, here we go, 5-minute candles, and you just sit here watching the candles and checking which way it's going, and it closed above there, so maybe it'll go long, or it closed here and it'll go short, and you're just taking trades constantly taking trades on that particular product. This looks more short than long at the moment, but yeah, you see there's a little turnaround there, so you're going to go short, and then you're going to watch it go down to here, and you're constantly watching it. So on the shorter time frames, it's a little bit of a nightmare and a little bit difficult to control. But the 4 hours against the day, I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, I used to, I don't know what this is saying here. Error, you're not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream. As such, viewers will be experiencing buffering. Let me know if everything's okay, guys, because I'm getting a strange message from YouTube here, which I don't quite understand. Hopefully it's still working. But one of the big things about trading is I actually used to trade on the day, and the day was good enough for me. And then I shortened it to the 4 hours. What I do now is I'll trade on the 1 hour or the 4 hours. But I like the 4 hours because the 4 hours gives me better signals. I get a strong bit of information from the day chart, and then I can trade on the 4-hour chart and I can relax. Sometimes I trade on a 1-hour chart as well, just depending on the product, but mostly the 4 hours. Yeah. Yeah, no, that is true, Kevin. The danger when learning, also sitting trying to take in information all day. Yeah, but for a while you do that. You got to figure things out. Yeah. So yeah, I do watch other time frames. Like I say, I do particularly watch other time frames sometimes. Particularly if I'm really bored, I'll actually trade on the 5 minutes, but generally not, because every time I trade on the 5 minutes, it always seems to go pear-shaped for some odd reason. Yeah, that's the gray hair, Daniel. Exactly what I was saying is, it can be really stressful sitting watching charts and sitting watching 5-minute charts and things like that. I really don't think it's good for your health. I think you've got to be a special kind of person to sit and watch candles going up and down with your money. And yeah, it's not easy. So hey, Elaine, how's it? Yeah, fantastic, no problem. It's an absolute pleasure. Like I say, I'm enjoying it. These are just standard candles, dude. Standard everyday candles. There's your line chart. There's your candle. Standard candlestick charts. Nothing special. I don't do the Heiken Ashi and all those types of things, because if you try all these different types of things that they have available to you, you find you lose out on things. For example, like the fair value gap, you will not see it on those because it smooths the price out too much. So you don't pick up on that. You don't pick up on supply and demand. Supply and demand, for example, what is this, guys? What is this here? Who can tell me what that is, eh? That is a demand level where there's money lying. Why is that? Simply because you see the 3 green candles behind it. Actually, there's more. And that is a little candle before it. And that shows you there's demand of money lying in that area. So you won't pick that up with smoothed out candles and things. So just use the everyday standard stuff. Don't get complicated. Don't overcomplicate these things. Drives you nuts. Yeah, no, that's Kevin, that's the thing. Yeah, that's if you've got other things to do, makes it difficult. But yeah, taking the information in is quite important. You know, with even like with this YouTube thing now, it's all the years I started to learn to do this, and I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to go live, if I was going to be able to figure that out. But you figure it out. You a couple of people show you how to do it, and information is so available out there these days. If you want to know something, you just go to YouTube or you go to Google and you find the answer. It's actually amazing. So okay, so Elaine, have you been trading long, or is this something new to you? I don't know. It's interesting, always interesting, because I have to try and keep it as easy and as simple as possible so that everybody can understand it and everyone can get ahead with it. And I'm also keeping it on the 4 hours to kind of help you guys as well, because you got to understand that if you trade on the 5 minutes and you're a beginner, you are going to lose all your money. I guarantee it. You're going to lose it all. Because I got friends that are pros, real pros, guys who really know their stuff, better traders than me, I think. Probably not, but you never know. But these guys trade on the 5 minutes and they lose. They lose. So don't think that you as a beginner are going to come in there and listen to some oak who's flashing off a Lamborghini that he rented, telling you that you can make $1 million on the market and you must trade these 5 minute charts, that you're now going to jump in here and start trading on 5 minute charts and start making money, because I can guarantee you it's not going to happen. So, well, welcome Elaine. I hope you get it all sorted out and you figure it out. It's a fun game and it's addictive and it's a drug. I'm in a lot of trades at the moment. I live plenty, but on this Fund the Trader account, I'm only in the one because, like I said, I haven't really dealt with it properly. But this one is the Euro US dollar short, which is losing. I want to add some more trades to this account as well. But on the main account, we actually do have quite a number of trades that we've got going. And to be quite honest with you, I can't even remember what they are at the moment, but I know we were short on most of the stuff. Euro US dollar ZAR is one of them, if I remember correctly, and that has done quite well. I was actually, when I leave this live video, go and have a look at this because I see it's hitting support. So that's one, and I think I was long on the US dollar CAD, and that's seemingly going a bit back, so I might have to look at that as well. There's quite a few others, but yeah, there's quite a few trades we're looking at. Gold I got out of because that was turning around, and I'm waiting to get back in somewhere down here. The France 40 failed on us yesterday. We went short. No, it wasn't the France 40, sorry, the FTSE. FTSE failed on us yesterday. We went short and it stopped out. So that was another trade that went against us. The DAX was short, and it's going against me as well. So yeah, that's how it goes. No big deal though. But yeah, on the funded trader account, we've only got the Euro US dollar. It's the one we're holding at the moment short. We'll see how that goes. I go to the beach quite often, Kevin. It's it settles the mind. It puts your mind at ease. It makes things a lot more peaceful. It's actually quite enjoyable just to pop down to the beach and enjoy life and get away from the desk sometimes. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting session. Not bad for the Euro session, I must say, guys. You know, for Euro session, I was expecting a lot less people here. And we're going to do the US session again on Thursday, by the way. So that should be an interesting one again. I know it's not as exciting as having the 5 minute charts up and the 1 minute charts up and the 0 second charts up and all that sort of thing, but we're here and we're chatting and we're talking about things, and it's good. So just remember that tomorrow I've also got the fair value gap video that I've got ready for you guys, actually, and for the members that will be out today. So yeah, that's actually going to be quite interesting. And like I said, I'm going to start putting some videos out about the other systems. But just remember, when you watch those videos, don't play into it too much. I don't want you guys getting confused and getting into all those different little prices, because when I show you something new, you're going to think, ooh, that'll work. And they do work, but I don't want you to use those. I just want to show you how they work so that you understand the markets and you understand how things are in the background. It's just some information. So rather stick to this, rather keep it simple, and don't overcomplicate the whole scenario at the end of the day. Keep the scenario simple, but I am going to show you a few other systems just out of interest so that you can also understand how other people are trading and what they're doing and why they're doing it and that sort of thing. And I'm glad you're binge watching all my videos, Elaine. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile, man. That makes a change. Yeah. It's becoming summer here for me. So Kevin, yeah, your turn to freeze. But for me, it's spring now and summer's coming. And it's been a cold winter and a long winter and a wet winter here in Cape Town. So it is time for us to now get a bit of the old summer back. So I'm looking forward to it. It's actually great. But we don't swim here because the sea is really cold. So I just walk for hours on the beach, or just walk along the beach and enjoy it, or sit there and have a cup of coffee and watch it and what have you. That's for me, that is the most relaxing thing. But yeah, anyone who swims here, there are a few. They're nuts. They're absolutely crazy. It's freezing. A lot of windsurfing here, but you need a 5mm wetsuit. It's quite cold, the water here. And yeah, yeah, thanks, Kev. Yeah, well, we have long winters now. I think it's been winter since like March, April, all the way until now. So it's been quite a long winter. I'm looking forward to a bit of summer for a change, so we can enjoy it a bit. But yeah. So Elaine, if you've got any questions, don't forget to ask. We're here. We'll answer your questions for you. See what we can do. And trade of the day. Welcome to trade of the day. Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Thanks, man. That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. So I'm probably going to have to move on soon. And maybe I should go and do that beach thing. I don't know. Or should I trade? What do you guys think? Should I trade or should I go to the beach? Daniel, you only joined now. I thought you'd been joined for a long time, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks. So now, every single morning, there's a video for the members where I actually go through the markets and discuss what the trade of the day is, and also discuss what we're going to do. It's quite a lot of information. A lot of people are saying beach, so beach it is, guys. I'm going to the beach. Definitely. Absolutely. Totally. Leave the trading for a while. Let it carry on by itself. And go and enjoy it. Because, yeah, it's a bit slow today anyway, so not much going on here. So, yeah, this trade, hopefully it'll play out eventually. And it won't stop out at 1170, 111.70 as the stop loss. So if it goes through there, it's gone. Hopefully it'll come down here to the 110 where the target is, and it'll make a whole bunch of money for that account. I'll see if there's any more trades that I can add to that account and do something with it, because I've done nothing with it. And I said to you guys, I'll add some more trades to it. I was just going to have a look at what I've got on my real account and maybe just start moving some trades over here as well, just for fun, and just start doing that as well. It is quite difficult to have this thing running, this funded trade account, and have my real account, and then I'm trading over there, and then you have to like copy the, really, I'll sort it out. I'll sort it out. Yeah. Okay, so I started looking at crypto. Paid for advice when I started. I have a couple coins, but I think it's the idea of trading. But look, Kevin, I don't know if you've seen my opinion on crypto. You're welcome to trade it. trade it by all means. Trade it on a shorter time frame as you possibly can. But it's not the easiest thing to trade. It's quite volatile. You can trade it all weekend long. That's the one thing you can do with Bitcoin or crypto. But no, I've actually got my own opinions on crypto, and my opinions are very much in line with what happened with Bernie Madoff. If you remember Bernie Madoff, he made off with all the money with when he had that fake trading thing on the 19th floor, whatever it was. I don't believe that Bitcoin is real. I personally don't believe that Bitcoin is a real thing. I don't believe in blockchain technology. If you can't show me an asset value, if you can't show me assets and liabilities, then you don't exist. So Bitcoin is almost like fresh air to me. If I buy a dollar, it's based on the reserves and the value of America. And I know that. If I buy a rand, it's based on the reserves and the value of South Africa. But if I buy a Bitcoin, I honestly don't know what it's based on. So I've got my own opinions on crypto. But trade it by all means, because it's tradable. It's great. It's a market that's made between buyers and sellers. But whatever you do, don't invest in it and leave it, because my opinion of that is one day everyone's going to wake up and it's going to cause a major disaster in our world, to be quite honest with you. I get the policy behind it. I get the idea behind it. And I get the idea of they want to move away from the government's money and have, yeah, I get the idea. I just don't believe in the idea. I don't think it can work. I think we need a completely new monetary system, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, Cindy, welcome. Watching my live video for the first time. I'm really glad to have you on board. Fantastic. And it's a pleasure. Always happy to give my time. And yeah, Kevin, it's real. People are making money from it. You're quite right. And somebody said to me the other day, if you had listened and invested in crypto 10 years ago, you would have been so rich now. Believe me, I put the money in other things like Coca-Cola and Nvidia and those types of places, and Apple and Tesla and all those places. And they made me just as much money, so I don't care. And those are real companies. If they start to go bankrupt, I'll know about it. Whereas crypto, I really don't know. I just don't know where they're going. So no, it feels like fresh air to me. It feels like another Ponzi scheme, you know what I mean? But people are making money out of it. You're quite correct. There's a lot of people, but I know a lot of people that have lost money with it as well. And you know what I always find about a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme, is the people who got in the beginning, the people who got in first, those are the guys that make all the money. And the people that get in last, and you don't know when last is, especially when it's been running so long, the people that get in last are always the one to pay for it. So watch out for that. But yeah, no, I don't mind. I mean, people pay me in crypto, and then I transfer it into cash. I just don't leave it in crypto. I'm just one of those people. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not. But that's just me, because I've just seen in my life so many financial scams and so many pyramid schemes and so many funded. I can't. I can't trust another one. So Bitcoin and crypto has just come to me as doesn't make sense to me. They've tried to explain it to me. I don't know, 100 times they tried to explain it to me, and it just never sinks in. Okay, so yep, they just print it. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. I got that feeling they just print it. You know, what is mining crypto? The mining crypto, what is yeah, no. Yeah. If you're mining something, you dig it out the ground and it pops up and you got it in your hand, isn't it? I mean, what's this blockchain technology stuff? Yeah. So yeah, Kevin, people are making money from it, and don't get me wrong. If you want to invest in crypto, by all means, I will not hold you back from that. And you in 9 times out of 10, you're probably right. But all I say is, for me, it feels like fresh air, and it doesn't feel like something that's completely real. So if I trade Bitcoin, it'll be for the moment. It'll be for these 4 hours or for the day or whatever the case, with a view to I might wake up tomorrow morning and it's gone. So I'm not investing in it. I'll just trade it. So if it's on support, I'll buy it. And if it's on resistance, I'll sell it. That's as good as it gets for me. Not going to go much better than that. And it's the same as a currency. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the first thing that if you buy in crypto, they say invest. Don't invest in anything you're not prepared to lose. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's the first sign of trouble. Yeah. How's it, Peter? Welcome, man. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Internet commerce, that's all. Yeah. Somebody tried to explain it to me as you're buying a part of the internet. But that also boggles the mind because then who owns the internet? I mean, really? Does somebody actually own the internet? Is there you're buying a piece of no, that doesn't make sense to me either, guys. It doesn't make sense at all. You can't own the internet. No. No, sorry. Crypto. It'll never make sense to me, but it is there. It's a product. It's something you can trade. And yeah, if you want to trade it, by all means, do your thing and trade it. That's at least something you can do with it. That's the one good thing about it. Go and have a look at what Jamie Dimon said about Bitcoin. He's the dude at JP Morgan. Go and have a look at what he said. They have a Bitcoin, I think, ETF that they created. They created a Bitcoin market and all the rest of it. But even he said, at your own risk, it's fresh air. Even he said it. The Wolf of Wall Street, he said it. He said he wouldn't touch Bitcoin with somebody else's. And so, yeah. If guys like that are saying it, then, you've got to start thinking something's fishy. BlackRock as well also had a lot to say about it. They also said, no, we can't guarantee it. We can't say that it's a good product. So, yeah. But yeah, no, totally. If you want to look at it, look at it. Just be careful of Bitcoin at the moment. I was looking at it the other day. Just hang on, Kevin. Let me just see here. I was looking at it and something said to me that it might be on its way down. It's not. It wasn't looking too kosher. I was looking at it the other day for some reason. And okay. Just be aware there's a bit of a downtrend here. Just look at this. Just be aware of this. And just keep an eye. Okay, I think I saw it. It might hit that and carry on down. I think it's going down to the 45 or something like that when I was looking at it the other day. I'm not going to do all the research now, but just keep your eyes open when you're investing in it. Just watch out. Okay, it might be due for a bit of a correction. I know it's been going up the recent. Maybe it was over here that I was looking at it. I saw it going a bit further down. I think it was breaking support or something like that. Oh yes, there's a big support down here. Just keep your eyes on it. Just watch out and just watch out for that little bit of a trend. See if it breaks through that trend, then it might be worth something. But it might correct a little bit. I was just looking at it the other day, so I just thought I'd bring that up. Just keep your eyes open. Okay, so as I said, it's time for me to go to the beach, man. Jeez. Yeah, no. Oh, so you agree with me, Daniel? Yeah, it's a 45 correct. Like I said, I was looking at it the other day and I saw it there. Peter, do not short gold, okay? If you're on the 5-minute charts, by all means. But look at this guy, okay? Am I on gold now? Yes, I am. Right. All the way up, flag pattern, all the way up, flag pattern. There's one of two things that can happen here, Peter. One of two things that can happen, right? It can go up or it can go down, obviously. But with a flag pattern, it can fly to the moon. It can shoot straight up from here, right? And it'll go fast. It won't go slow. Or it's going to come down and it's going to take out this gap here, this fair value gap, or this now support, And there's a trend running through here as well that it needs to get down to. So there's the trend somewhere around here. I'm just going to draw it in sort of lightly. So there's a good chance this price is going to come down to here. Okay, so your short is there, but your risk to reward is poor. Your risk to reward is not good, eh? Okay, so always try and get better risk to reward. Get more profit and less loss, right? I got a feeling that you should wait for the long trade in the 25-40 area, because that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a long trade in the 25-40 area. If you take the short trade here, you stand to lose more than you stand to win. Okay, just pointing that out. So just be careful of that. I'm not saying don't take it. You have got a short trade here, but it's very poor risk to reward. Okay, you're not going to make much out of it. So just watch out for that. But it is going to go short till about this level, 25.40. Then I'd much rather pick up the long, because the trend is very long. And this is a very strong trend. It's such a strong trend, and I'm very wary of it. Okay, very wary of it. Okay, so cool, fantastic. Picaro, demo. I don't know what you mean by demo, but okay. Oh, I turned paper into with Bitcoin. What a pity it was a demo, dude. Imagine if that was real. Gee whiz, man. Remember what I told you guys about investing? Take your money, put it into a few shares every month. Put it into a few shares every month. And do it for 10 years. And you'll be just as well off as if you'd invested in that Bitcoin. And you know what? Those companies will always be there. For example, Apple, Tesla, Netflix, Nvidia. They're going to be around for a long time. Netflix, I couldn't really tell you, but Apple, probably, Tesla, most likely, Nvidia, definitely. So these are companies that are going to be around. Just keep investing them every month, and then come back, and in 10 years, 15 years time, they're going to be paying you dividends, and they're going to be worth a fortune. Guaranteed you'll make as much money there as you would if you'd invested in the Bitcoin. So don't think that Bitcoin's the next best thing on earth just because it did so well. Like I said to you, the people that get into the pyramid schemes first do well, and the people that get into the pyramid schemes last don't do so well. The advantage of trading in stocks, if you want to make money that way, is you can choose 10 stocks, and if one of them fails, only 10% of your portfolio has failed. Okay, you've got a much better. You're not trading in one thing like Bitcoin, waking up on Monday morning and it's gone. You're trading into 10 different companies, which will grow over time. They'll pay you a dividend as well, which Bitcoin won't, and your value is growing as well. So it's a much better investment. 10 companies are 100 times better investment than one Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. That's my thing for today. That's what I thought I'll just tell you before I go to the beach today. Guys, don't forget to watch the Fair Value Gap video tomorrow, and if you remember, today. And also, on top of which, Thursday we're live again on Thursday. Guys, thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for being here with me. I am going to go now, and I am going to go and have a lekker time on the beach right now and relax a bit. Also have a nice cup of coffee. So guys, thank you. I really appreciate the support. That's what keeps me going, is the fact that I know that I'm actually doing it with a purpose, that something is actually somebody's actually gaining something from it at the end of the day. And I'm not sitting here just talking to fresh air, let's say. So guys, thank you. Appreciate your support. And I'll see you next time. We'll do another live on Thursday, and we'll have a little bit of fun. Cheers, guys.